Hello everyone, my name is Jed and I love Sonic racing games. I recently got the announcement of a brand new Sonic racing game, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and with the closed network beta having just dropped and he having played it, I figured I'd give you all my general thoughts on it and my hope for the games in the future. So first things first is the roster. The roster for the beta is quite small, which makes sense along with the small vehicle selection. It is the first beta after all. The beta roster consists of Sonic, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Omega, Eggman, Cream, and Zazz. They all have their own vehicles, but you can also switch characters and vehicles, which is something that I really like because it allows you to mix and match and experiment a lot more. They also have 4 types of vehicles so far, those being speed, accelerate, handling, and power. And you can also customize your own vehicle of each type, mix and match car parts, and they all have specific stats to them and affect other stats. You can also customize the colors, add decals, and so on and so forth. It's amazing how much room they give you to play around with in just the car customization. There's also a pretty solid selection of courses for you to race through from previous Sonic games, such as Metal Harbor from SA2, which, mind you, that is crazy to me, because if it wasn't for the music and the fact that I've watched videos in the game before the video came out, I wouldn't know that was Metal Harbor. It not only looks completely different, it gives off the same vibe as that one stage from so there's Transform. I can't remember the name. It's probably on screen right now as I'm fucking talking. But like that, the military base one, it looks like that. If it wasn't for that still blows my mind, by the way. But you've also got ones like Water Palace from Sonic Rush. There's also some original courses such as Wonder Museum and East Stadium, which personally gives me the same vibes as both Electrodrome mixed with Mario Circuit from MK8. There's also a large variety of items such as a splitting blade item, a monster truck item that boosts your speed and allows you to drive on all types of terrain, a warp hole item that teleports you to another player on the map, even the Wisp item is back. And honestly, for a racing game, I've always liked them as items, so I'm glad that they're back. I also really like the effect these things have when you take damage and how your car gets destroyed. Every race also starts with a little gauge for getting the starting boost, which I think is pretty cool, especially because it looks like a speedometer, but I do for the Sonic All-Star interpretation of this, or like even TSR somewhat. But there's also a ton of different gears at your disposal that affect how things play, such as ones that make you take less damage when you lose less rings when you take damage, ones that make you be able to do tricks faster, ones that gives you a 4th drift gauge, ones that make certain items appear more, and so much more. You have a total of 6 gear slots overall, giving you a lot of room to customize and mix and match different gears to find different gear combos. You start with, if I remember correctly, you start with 1 and unlock more slots from playing the game, and as you unlock more slots, you unlock more gears until you get all 6 gears, and gears can take anywhere from 1 slot to 3 slots, so keep that in mind if you decide you want to mix and match the gears, because they really can make a huge difference in the game itself and how it plays and how it feels for you. Also, racing in general in this game is just very fun, not just because of the transformation mechanic from Transformed and the way it's incorporated into the game, and generally just the way it looks, like I mentioned earlier, because that also it has the same effect as like the car stuff. It looks really cool. I love the whole like cyber aesthetic. It looks really cool. But the way the game handles races as a whole is really interesting, as the first lap is on one of the many tracks before the person first takes you to the second lap, which takes place in one of the many titular Crossworlds, basically a whole separate stage for you to race in, from which all are a variety of different Sega properties, such as Sonic stages like Dinosaur Jungle from Sonic the Secret of Rings, to stuff like Lava Cave from Galaxy Force, which was, I believe, in Transformed as well. It's dope. The game also really encourages you to play well, as rings are very important, as the more rings you have, the faster you go, and if you crash into other players or even into walls, you risk losing rings, which slows you down a lot. So the game encourages you not only to collect rings, but do your best to keep as many as you can, making the game a decent challenge as well, with how fucking hectic is crazy it can be sometimes, especially at the end. It's insane. Honestly, this whole game as a whole feels like it's pulling things from all previous Sonic racing games, save rivals, such as the general design style of All-Stars, with things like Amy's pink cabriolet being much closer to its design in the All-Stars and Transformed game, with the smooth, streamlined art aesthetic and colorization of TSR, the transformation mechanic from Transformed, with the trick system heavily reminding me of the Riders trilogy, and the gear customization specifically reminding me specifically of Free Riders gear selection system. Honestly, the game as a whole feels like it's taking countless elements from all those games, using mostly All-Stars Transformed as a basis, but then incorporating these pulling in things from other games, but giving a very Mario Kart 8-esque gameplay style from the online lobby, feeling very much similar to MK8 as well as the 2 item system, something that became a thing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Honestly, it feels like everything that made the All-Star Series great just made a million times better with an updated feel and taking inspiration and ideas not only from their previous racing games, but also ideas and thoughts from their ideas and stuff like that from their competitors. But I do hope it doesn't lean too hard into trying to be like past games, to the point where the game ends up feeling like just an amalgamation of other things and not like its own new thing. Also hope that in regard to the character selection, I hope they either get new renders who's going to use 3D models, because god, those renders are old, especially fucking Eggman, or what I hope they do is they go back to using the 2D artwork, because the character selection art and things like the OG riders, it was so cool. I love that. I would love for them to go back to that, but they probably aren't, and even if they don't, that's fine. I just hope we get some new renders. Like the ones on the website I believe are completely new, and I would love for those to be like something like that. I also can't wait to see the full roster. So far, we've actually gotten quite a few characters confirmed for the full roster. So I don't care in this beta, you've got Rouge and Big completing Team Dark and Team Rose respectively, Team Chaotix, the Babylon Rogues, Zavok, Sage, Metal, Silver, Blaze, and a goddamn Egg Pawn. Which, again, free, it's giving me Free Riders vibes, dude. Because why am I able to play as a damn Egg Pawn? Why? It makes no sense to me. Also, the deluxe edition of the game says it will have Sonic Prime characters as well, which personally sucks for me because of that show, but it does lay the foundation for a different thought of bringing in certain characters into the games, because you've got things like the IDW comics and other things that are supposed to be canon to the games. So this could be a way to bring them all in and introduce them through the overarching Sonic franchise, things like the movie characters, IDW characters, and so on and so forth, using this Crossworld style and whatnot. It would frankly be a great way to bring them all into the game instead of just throwing some of these characters into the game where they already know these characters, when a lot of fans don't read the comics. So it would just seem off-putting to a lot of people. Using the ring portals and crossing of worlds, if you will, could be a good way to bring these characters in and other Sonic characters and variants of them as well into the games. Especially coming from someone who isn't a huge fan of the comics but does like to keep himself updated every now and again. This game could ultimately be the perfect solution to bringing these characters into the games. And if done right, could bring everything together in a way that would allow them to appear in future games, especially in regards to the IW characters and how popular all of them are. It just makes sense. But that aside, I also want to talk about the extreme gear for a second, because I doubt they will, but I doubt they will let the extreme gear be rideable the entire way throughout the game due to things like the transformation mechanic, but it would be cool, and I hope that they do. Another thing I want to mention in regards to extreme gear, if you read about it on the PlayStation blog, it says that they will have a boost style, a boost-based style of gameplay. So that is very interesting and something I wanted to take note of, because I wonder if it'll play kind of like you're playing a Riders game, basically. I hope they can capture that feeling of playing the old Riders games in this game. It would be really cool. I also really like the music of this game and can't wait to hear more from the full game. Let me play a bit for you if I can find some. That's about all I can think of to say in regards to the beta, and overall it was a great time. It's hectic, it's all kinds of fun, and I love it. I'm really excited for what more this game has, and genuinely, if Nintendo doesn't come out the gate swinging, and if Sega plays their cards right, this game could absolutely put the next Mario Kart in the goddamn gutter. I doubt it will since it's fucking Mario Kart, but with what I've seen from this game so far, I genuinely believe it has the potential to do just that. But with all that being said, I'm gonna stop wasting your time now. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't, tell me how much I sucks about the YouTuber and the Vtuber in the comment section down below. I'm going to go watch Sonic 3 now. Have a good day, everybody.
Give you a